You're listening to Get to Know World of Warships, a podcast created by Boggzy and Synpax.
Okay, welcome everybody. Thank you all for sticking with me through the announcements there. I am speaking with three gentlemen from South America who are here to talk to me a little bit in Spanish and English about a proposed South American line that TalleyRand, one of the Latin American community contributors, wrote up a very nice article about. So, let's join us with Jamie Mendoza of Clan BN, Nanashi of Clan Sur, and TalleyRand. And I'm not sure what clan TalleyRand is in, so we'll ask him.
FURIA.
Was it FURIA?
FURIA. My clan is FURIA.
FURIA. Bravo. I'm going to try and speak a little in Spanish to these fellas as well as in English. I know most of you listening speak English, but there are lots and lots of folks in World of Warships who speak Spanish as well. Entonces, muchachos, vamos a la discusión. Entonces, por favor, TalleyRand, ¿puedes decir un poquito sobre por qué quieres ver una línea sudamericana?
Well, first that all, there are a lot of players of South America, but I think the interest of the ship is not just for the players of South America. They are extremely interesting ship for everywhere. They are amazing gunships, amazing. Probably the faster. I don't know the English one. The fastest fighting ships in the world in the moment, and I think it's a good add-on for the game, because there are not so many ships over there to make another line. Yes, there are, but if you want to play the game for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years, you have to add at least 3 lines per year.
Mm-hmm.
At least. ¿Se me entendió?
Right. And so go ahead, Nanashi.
No, I wanted to say that it is important to have a representation for South America, because we have a very rich history of Navy, and there is a strong player base, and as I said, my Walter here, the ships are fun to play, and they are nice add to the game.
Mm-hmm. And so let's talk for a moment before we talk about the ships. Let's talk about the South American player base, because I'm always surprised when I find another clan that is Spanish-speaking clan. There are way more than I thought. So, Jamie Mendoza, ¿puedes decirme algo un poquito sobre en tu opinión, cuántas personas en el player base son latinoamericanos?
I don't have the number right now, but we are a lot of players. I mean, just in my clan, we are like 40 people. But are a lot of clans, like, I don't know, 30 maybe, Anashi? So we are a lot of community. Also, we have a new community manager from Latin America. So if we're gaming at an community manager for LATAM, I think they have the number of Latin American players, so It's really big.
So Jamie mentioned an important word that I only learned recently, which is LATAM. I've never heard the word LATAM before, but it stands for Latin American, and it's used a lot when describing the Latin American part of the NA server, I've noticed, because there are Argentinians, there are Brazilians, there are Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, Colombianos, and apparently, lots and lots of Argentinians. So, hay muchas personas de todos los países de Sudamérica. Entonces, LATAM es la palabra que los pinche güeros en los Estados Unidos no... es la palabra que no estamos familiar, pero we're trying to learn. So
I think think the LATAM community is not that known because the 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 player percentage that participates in a very competitive way are very niche. They are very small. So I think that's because we are not that well known. You have Buenas Noches and Sur and CBR to name a few that
Yeah.
are known, but there are
Where
a lot of
And FURIA, I've seen FURIA
yeah,
in clan and in clan battles. There are several South American clans that have made Hurricane in the past or do make Hurricane frequently. So we're talking strong players who are good at this game.
Just
yes,
in our Facebook group, we have like 5,000 people, maybe.
Wow.
Walter,
Uh-huh.
no, I think it's near 10,000 now.
yeah. So we
It's
are a lot of
growing
people.
every day.
You know, you don't know if uh a Spanish talker or from South America is playing the game because I think they try to speak in English in the game,
Mm-hmm.
but when we see another guy from South America in the other team, we say hi, right? So
Right.
people know we are from Latin America. So I think that's why the North American people things are not too much person from Latin America. I
Yeah.
think I don't know.
I remember when I traveled to Europe in 2007 for a few months, and I didn't speak with another American for maybe a month during that time. And I was at a train station in France, and I heard an American talking on the phone, and I ran up to him, and I got so excited. I just wanted to say hi and just have a chat about something. I mean, I'm sure it's not quite like that, but it must be a similar feeling of, ¡Oye, compadre, estás aquí en el juego! ¿Cómo estás? No.
Yeah, very much.
¿Qué pasó,
Like that,
compadre? Nada, man, estoy jugando pinche World of Warships. ¿Qué quieres? Nada, solamente te quiero hablar.
Just say hi.
Okay, so TalleyRand, please, if you would, tell us a little about the proposed South American line. You made a very, very intricate and detailed post about what it should look like, what ships should be, and what their characteristics. Sí, por favor, si puedes explicar a nosotros un poquito sobre la línea de botes suramericanos que tú ya pusiste una página en el forum. Yo sé que está en el internet, pero ¿puedes explicar un poquito sobre las características que estoy faltando? Lo siento.
Yes. Yeah. First of all, this is not my work. There is a team behind this.
Okay.
I want to name Frosty, Darkstar. Frosty is in Denmark now. Darkstar is from Colombia.
Mm-hmm.
Cooldown, Bruno Chesser, and me from Argentina. Well, we all work in different parts. For example, Frosty was the guy with the number. Bruno Chesser is doing 3D models of some of the shit that are designs.
Mm-hmm.
For example, Darkstar was working in the archives. No, records.
Yeah.
I don't know the English word. Well,
en inglés decimos archives, yeah.
Archive. Well, and Cooldown, same thing in Argentina. Well, it's a team effort, so it's important to name them all.
Right.
Well, a bit of history. In South America, the navies are not big navies, and they are not to engage the British Navy or the Imperial Japanese Navy in open seas. They are to match the guy next door.
Right.
This is important. So when, for example, Brazil bought a battleship, Argentina must buy something similar or better, because with the battleship, with one battleship, Brazil was have total control of the sea.
Mhm.
So if Argentina buy a battleship, Chile must do the same, and then Peru. And if Peru, this is the way South America works. When one nation buys a ship, the other has to buy something similar or better, and that's allow us to have a lot of ship.
Si
Always
puedo decirlo, es una carrera de armamento, ¿sí?
Yes.
Yes, it's a
Constantly.
South American arms race.
Exactly. And we had a lot of ships to make our line, but we wanted that this line be different from Pan-Asia.
Mhm.
We don't want copy-paste ship. We don't want ships that we have in other lines like Fletchers, Gettings. We have that. We can use it,
Mhm.
but we don't. We want something new.
Well, so to begin with, can you tell us, there's something very important that I read, excuse me, I burped, ew. There's something very important that you stated at the beginning of your article, which was that these ships, while they sometimes share a hull from ships of a different country, the actual construction and development of them came from their country of origin. Aunque los botes, el metal es muy similar de botes de otros países, las características y específicamente el design, no sé cómo decirlo en español, lo siento. El diseño es muy similar, güey. El diseño es propio, es su propio del país de origen, ¿sí?
Yes, this is the case with most of the design.
Uh-oh.
We are losing him.
Nos falta
Okay.
TalleyRand.
Walter?
Nanashi, ¿puedes continuar o...?
Yeah, I can continue.
Okay.
He was saying that that is the case with most of the ships. For example, we can take. Let me see 1 second. Serrano, the Tier 4, for example. The construction was based on the design of other ship of other country, but they changed and they add a turret and remove one of the torpedo launchers. So and also the caliber of the weapon.
Mm-hmm.
So the ship is similar, but it's not the same.
Right. Okay. Well, why don't we?
It's in another class of ship, but they are similar,
right,
but different.
So I noticed that the ships as a whole, the line, the ships have very strong guns. They have very strong guns. They have smoke. They have speed boost, and at later tiers they have hydroacoustic search. So what they don't do well is they don't have long range or many torpedoes, so they lack in the torpedo department, but they have they're mostly gunboats. And there's something special about the torpedoes that you are proposing, which is that each ship has the option to use 2 or 3 different types of torpedoes. And the torpedoes can have long range and slow speed, or very, very fast speed and low range, which is kind of like the Japanese torpedoes on the Shimakaze. And that's on the proposal for the line. That's most of the ships. Is that right?
I am not quite sure. Sorry, but I'm not the guy that designed this kind of shit. Sorry. I am not that sure about that.
Okay.
It's something that Walter designed with his team. I'm just a guy that read about this and wanted it to be implemented, and I cannot speak for him, but I think that that's the case. Yes.
Okay. Do we have TalleyRand back?
Walter?
¿Estás aquí, Walter? He's on his. He's speaking to us, I believe, from Argentina on his phone, so he may have a little difficulty.
We the nation, and we are the people who wants to feel your feelings when you play Montana or the Gearing or some ships from your nation. So we want to feel how is play with your, I mean, your nation.
Mm-hmm.
You know it's not your nation, because I when I play with the 9 de Julio from LATAM,
Mhm.
from Argentina, I feel really good, because
Right.
it's from LATAM. So
Patriotic feeling of sorts.
Right. So yeah, I mean, obviously, Americans have a huge number of ships to choose from, and everyone has their favorite. For some people, the New Mexico is their absolute favorite ship, just because it's big and it's fat and it's America, and for other people, I know that for British people, being able to take the HMS Hood, the famous Hood, out into game and play it is really special, and it feels good because it's historical. So I absolutely agree that that a line of South American ships would be great for the South American community, to be able to play that and to sort of represent them in a game that so many of us like to play. So it sounds like Walter TalleyRand is back. So
he's back, but he has problems with his mic.
yeah.
Telling me the Discord not recognize the microphone, but
Okay.
he's trying to fix him.
No problem. Are you two able to tell me a little bit about...
Hello. Can you listen to me?
Walter, sí, podemos escuchar, podemos oírle. Bienvenidos. Okay, can you tell us, starting at Tier 2, can you tell us the name of and a little bit about each boat up to Tier 10?
Yes. First,
Uh-oh.
now?
Yeah, we can
Yes.
hear you now.
First of all, we have the San Luis. The San Luis and the Cordova, which is the Tier 3, began as they are Argentine designs. They began in 1909. It's okay? That year?
1909.
Eh?
1909, 1909, right?
Yes, that well. Argentina was eager to have a huge destroyer fleet, so they make a basic design and send it to several shipyards. A British shipyard built this destroyer, which is let me look at the data. It should have a 100 millimeters gun, makes 35 knots, but the British shipyard didn't reach the so they make only 32 knots. Sorry. I'm having a lot of trouble with this phone.
Okay.
Well, the ship it weighs only above 1,000 tons. That's mean 8,000 HP, 32 knots, 4 guns, 100 millimeters, and it carry 4 torps, 4 torpedoes.
Right.
It's close to the She's 101 from tier 3 in Germany, but a bit slower with the smaller torpedoes and smaller range in general.
Okay.
It's an hybrid ship for the it's not a good torpedo ship, but also not bad.
And that's the Tier 2 or the Tier 3?
It's the tier 2. It's not very important.
Okay. Yeah, before tier 5, there's not a whole lot that people pay attention to, I don't think.
Exactly.
Except the Mikasa. Everybody knows the Mikasa.
Everyone loves it.
Everybody knows the Mikasa. Okay, so how about tier 3? Uh-oh.
We're losing him again.
Don't die, Walter.
Yeah, he's underwater. Tier 3 is the Cordoba from Argentinian design.
Yeah, the Cordoba.
Cordoba. We might get TalleyRand back here. His name is Walter, I hear. Nanashi, can you tell us a little bit, or Yemi, if you want to, a little bit about Cordoba?
I can read what Walter wrote about that.
Okay.
If you want.
Sure.
The Cordoba is a class of destroyers ordered also in 1901, and it was a part of the same batch.
Batch,
Yeah, and I don't have the history here, but I have the specs.
Okay.
It's 4 batteries of 402 millimeters with 5 seconds of reload. And also have 4 torps, 50 knots. What?
Yeah, 50 knots at 6 kilometers, 58 at 4, and
62 at 2.
Yeah,
and
2-kilometer torpedoes. What? It's like.
Yeah, so you have to rush.
Yes, I think so. It's like reaching out and punching the enemy captain in the face. Yeah.
With a sword.
With a torpedo, yeah. Okay, so tier 2 and tier 3, the San Luis is the first tier 2. The Cordoba is the tier 3 ship. It sounds like these are both destroyer classes that were ordered by Argentina and were built in English shipyards. And it sounds like they have rapid-firing guns for the tier and short-range quick torpedoes for the most part. So let's move on to Cerrano, which is our first design of Chilean descent. It's first Chile design at tier 4.
I think it's the Icarus class.
Icarus,
from
the British?
From British. Yeah.
Okay.
I think.
Let's see here. I don't see whether it says that here. Walter might be able to tell us if he's here. Walter?
He's here, but I mean, I think his mic is.
Yeah, I can't hear him. He's blinking, but I can't hear him.
Hello. Can you listen to me?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, we can.
I hear you.
Great.
Well,
so
the Cerrano is not an Icarus. The Cerrano is a previous design. It's a small destroyer that Chile bought in the 20s. It was a very modern ship for the time, but it was too light for the Chilean sea. The sea in the south of Chile and south of Argentina is very rough.
Mm-hmm.
Is a design now we jump to the 120 millimeters gun, but only 3. It has good torps. It's 2 launchers of 3 torps. That means 6.
right.
But only 3 120 millimeter guns.
So the caliber of the guns at tier 4 goes up to 120 millimeters, but they lose 1 gun, and to replace that, they get twice as many torpedoes as before.
And bigger torps.
Bigger
Exactly.
torps, right. Okay, so this, again, tier 4 and below, I think as we all know, people don't tend to play those for very long or for very many games. So really tier 5 is where things start to get a little spicy. Un poquito picante. Pero es el primer bote de Chile. ¿Por qué ordenaron un bote Chile? Porque él no puede tener un Brasil con más botes.
Well, Chile has to counter the the Argentine and Peru Armada.
Mm-hmm.
Both were very menacing for Chile. There were a lot of wars between Chile and Peru, and Chile and Argentina were in the brink of war so many times. In the turn of the century, in the 70s, before World War II, well, there were a lot of moments that Argentina and Chile were with the knife in the throat of each other.
Right. Well, so okay, so we'll have to talk about that at the end a little bit about the history of naval conflict for South American countries, because I have a feeling most people probably don't know a whole lot about it outside of when the Admiral Graf Spee in World War II, it parked in, oh God, where was it? Uruguay.
Yes.
Yeah. And was basically told, you've got 24 hours, Franz, and then you got to leave. So moving on to Tier 5. The first Tier 5 is going to be the Mendoza, como Yemi Mendoza. And this is a Argentine boat as well. So tell us about the Mendoza. Lost him. Lost Walter again. I can hear him a little bit. Okay, well, so up at Tier 5, which is where most of the game begins to take place, I would say. I think we can all agree with that. It looks to me like... this looks very much to me like a Jervis, like a Jervis or a Acosta from the British line. It looks a lot like the Jervis class.
Yes, it's
Oh no.
very
You can do
related.
it.
You can do it. Sí se puede. Okay. So at Tier 5, the DD goes up to 5 times 120 millimeter guns. The reload goes up by 1 second to 6. It retains 2 sets of 3 torpedoes of 533 millimeter, and it continues to have a smoke generator and a speed boost. So the maximum speed for these is about, what is the total speed for it?
56 knots.
50. How long?
3.6.
3.6. Okay, so this is a little faster than the British boats, but again, without speed boost, it's not going to be catching up to Russian or even Japanese destroyers. So that's why it has the speed boost, I believe. And once again, the torpedoes can either go 44 knots at 10 kilometers or 62 knots at 4 kilometers. So you have the option in this proposal of longer range but slower torpedoes, sort of like the Sims class or the Black or the American sea mines, as we sometimes call them because they're so slow, or speedy torpedoes that are used for coming around a corner on a battleship or a cruiser and dev striking them with very fast torpedoes.
I think it's going to be more of a hit and run type of destroyer, because he doesn't have the DPM to stand duel with another destroyer. He's fast, but not the fastest, and he's not really that tanky, so he cannot take a beating. So I think it's going to be a type of hit. You take somebody by surprise, you hit them, that then use the smoke and the speed boost to get away.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
imagine launch torps in Tier 5 from 12 kilometers. Looks really, really fun.
Yeah, the ranges at that tier are not usually very long, so having access to 10-kilometer torpedoes, even if they're slow, would be a nice thing to have for a destroyer.
It's like the Sims, you know, when you launch torpedoes,
Right.
you just launch and then you hit something, you know. Igual, same for the Black.
Empieza y olvida.
Yeah.
Fire and forget. Next is the Tier 6, is the, I don't know how to pronounce this, Green Halg? That sounds
It's
Scottish.
Portuguese. So
It's an American name, Greenhall.
Green Hall? Really?
Green Hog.
Green Hull.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, there was a lot of.
Walter is here.
I'm
Oh.
back. There were a lot of mercenaries from Ireland and American in service in South American navies and armies. Green Hull, I think it was an American captain. Green Hull,
Oh, I
don't know.
see. Okay. And so this is the tier 6, and this is from Brazil, right?
Yes, it's based on is British. Excuse me. It was built in Brazil, but based in the Mayhem destroyer from United States.
Okay.
So it had the same kind of the story of the Mayhem. They began with a strong set of torpedo in the design, but then they understand that we need anti-aircraft gun, and they lost the torpedo and began using a lot of and this is the the principal characteristic of the line. In the top, from 6 to 10, we don't have a strong set of torpedo, but we have better better anti-aircraft, and a lot of guns.
Yes, and something else that we didn't describe earlier is that your proposal for this line also says these destroyers will be very specialized at hunting submarines as well, correct?
Yes, as there are no big fleets in South America, the destroyers are more oriented. I don't know if that's the
Yeah,
correct
yeah,
word,
exactly the right word.
to fight another destroyer and to fight submarines. That's the main weapons in every South American navy, at least the big ones.
Right. So if submarines do actually enter the game, then these destroyers are going to be specifically designed to help hunt and fight and kill them quickly. So basically, this here, Tier 6, the Green Hog, it's it's sort of like the Mahan class from the American line. It has 4 127mm guns, and much like the Kidd, the USS Kidd, it trades 1 rack of 4 torpedoes for extra AA. And so it sits on 1 rack of 4 torpedoes now instead of 2. But at Tier 6 is where it also gets access to hydroacoustic search. And is this supposed to have the normal hydroacoustic search that Americans, sorry, not Americans, but non-Germans have? Or is it British or German or what? We lost him. Shit. Okay, well, let's just move on to let's go ahead and move on to Tier 7. So at Tier 7 we have the Chubut. I'm actually not sure how to pronounce that. It's yeah. Chubut. Okay.
Perfect.
This was a design proposed for Argentina in 1947, but for economic reasons, it was not built because British wanted dollars, and well, there was it was a complex economic reason that that leads to this ship not being built. But it's based on the Lightning, but with less torque and more only 1 bank of torque.
Right. So it uses the Lightning's 3x2 120mm guns, which are very strong on the Lightning and the Jutland and then the Daring. It's those same guns with a reload of 5 seconds. So I think that's right around where the Lightning is, if I am not mistaken too much. It has...
Yes, they are the same guns of the Lightning.
Okay. Oh, okay, very good. They're Lightning guns at Tier 7. It has fewer torpedoes, but the AA is already using dual-purpose AA, so the main cannons act as anti-aircraft guns as well. So this is back to Argentina, and this is where the destroyers start to get a little bit more modern, as this is a 1947 design. So up to Tier 8, we have the Nueva Esparta, which is the first Venezuelan ship.
Well, this is there was a president in Venezuela. I don't remember Jimenez. I think he wanted a new modern ship with Venezuela now being a of petrol export, and this was the first keystone for Venezuela, a new modern destroyer. It's based on but
It's
you
gonna
got
be right.
daring guns in tier 8, which is very good,
Mm-hmm.
and a strong anti-aircraft component, of course.
Right. So this is this at tier 8 now uses the 3x2 114 millimeter Royal Navy guns, I believe. Which these do you think actually the commander skills are going to change? So I don't think that's a good question anymore. Never mind. So again, this uses very few torpedoes, just one bank of 3 torpedoes, to have better AA, fast-firing guns. So at tier 8, this is 3.5 second reload, which is very strong. This feels a lot like Jutland used to feel at tier 9 before they nerfed it to 4.5 seconds, I think. So the Nueva Esparta coming in from Venezuela at tier 8. And it's a tiny bit slower than before at 34.5 knots, but the gun DPM on this is much, much higher than the previous ship by about, almost a third more powerful. So it's a big thing.
Improvement.
And with so then
Yes, South American navies were very crazy about having the faster gun.
faster guns.
You'll see that every ship has even faster gun, faster.
Sure.
The Williams in Chile has 50 shots per minute in real life. That's
Really? What kind of what
1
caliber?
second, 0.1.
What caliber gun is it? Oh, I think we lost him again. Shoot.
I
Okay.
think it's 120.
120
not sure.
milligas. Okay.
Yeah, 120.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so almost done here with the line. At tier 9 is a Brazilian ship called the Mato Grosso. And this looks like a very big destroyer. So can you tell us about that one?
The Mato Grosso is another unbuilt design. It was as the Chubut for Argentina. It was designed to be the Brazilian daring, but economic problem with the British in after World War II, and of course American interest in winning the South American market. They end up buying Gerings and Fletchers, but the Mato Grosso is like a small daring if you like.
Yeah.
It was designed to use different type of weapon, Swedish, British, or American weapons, but we choose the one with the British weapons, with the daring weapon.
Okay, so basically at tier 9 we have a bit of a daring class. It's right around the same speed, 35 knots, about 19,200 HP, and still going with the 114 millimeter guns. At this point, it's up to one bank of 5 torpedoes, which is the same number per launcher on the Daring and the Jutland. So, and again, these destroyers after tier 6 are outfitted with smoke generator, speed boost, and hydroacoustic search. So they tend to be somewhat like the British DDs in the sense that they have a number of utilities for them, but they tend to rely on their guns a bit. So last one is the first and only design from Colombia. It is the 20 de Julio, or 20th of July. And this is different.
Yes, this is the 20th of July is the destruction of the radical destruction. You have the best DPM. It's like a Halland or Smaland
Yeah.
with one extra turret, but you have to sacrifice a lot to have one more turret. And the Colombia sacrificed a lot to have that much firepower. They sacrifice the mines, they sacrifice speed, they sacrifice anti-aircraft, they sacrifice whatever they can. They could drop from the ship, they drop it, but they have a Smolensk with one more turret. That's
Right.
50% more firepower.
So, just to be clear for everybody listening, the proposed Tier 10 destroyer for a South American line, it's a Holland class, but they take away so much of the AA in order to put an extra turret onto the front of the ship. So, we all know how powerful the Holland and the Smolensk are, specifically the Smolensk in terms of gunpowder. This is 3 of the same guns the Holland and the Smolensk use with a reload of 2.2 seconds, so still very quick. That could be reduced further by adrenaline rush and by main battery reload modules. I believe that could get down to just under 1.9, or maybe just above 1.9 with the module. And then with Adrenaline Rush, it could get down, I think, to 1.65 or something like that. But this is 3 of them, which is considerably more DPM than the Holland. I believe it's just about the same as the Smolensk. However, it sacrifices the torpedoes, so it only gets 1 bank of 4 torpedoes. This is crazy. The torpedoes proposed on this you can have 2 types of torpedoes. 70 knots at 15 kilometers or 60 knots at 20 kilometers. These are the longest range torpedoes in the game, tied with the Shimakaze and the Asashio, right?
Yeah, I think so. I already want it.
Right.
I guess the Italian also have long range torpedo. The Italian cruiser Tier 6, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
But very slow.
Well, this is great, gentlemen. There are also some premium destroyers. There are some premium destroyers that were proposed along with this tech tree line, and there's several of them, and they're very interesting. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have links to this proposal. The entire list of this proposal is on WordPress, and I'll put a link to it if you want to look for yourself. It is in Spanish, but I believe you can use Google to translate it for you. And then I want
There is an English version also in the forum.
What? I read it in Spanish. Ya he leído en español, pero...
Sorry, it was my fault.
No te preocupes, güey. Necesito practicar mi español porque yo soy un güero muy flojo y necesito aprender una otra lengua. So, okay, there's an English version and an Espanol version that I will have links to both. And so, gentlemen, muchachos, what do you think needs to happen for wargaming to put in a South American line? Do you think you need signatures? Do you think you need media? What do you think is the best way to get wargaming to see, an opportunity to profit from a South American line?
I think that the most important thing is that mostly people from other continents, to know that a South American or Latin American line doesn't need to be a copy paste of another ship. We are not using Fletchers. We are not using Gettings. It's not just, they are original ships. I think this is the most important. And of course, when this virus ends,
Right.
we can go to the archives and search for more blueprints.
Right.
For my part, I think that wargaming needs to add more variety to the game. I mean, the game must never become stale, so it has to keep improving. And a good way to add something new and to include a big community that is LATAM is to add these ships. So I think they have a good reason, and they can do it if they want, of course. But I think it's a great idea. And here Walter did a great job doing the showing a proof that it can be done without a copy paste and adding something new to the game. So that's it.
Yeah.
I think Wargaming. I mean, they have the idea, but they don't know when. So if in the game is a 9 de Julio, why not a full line? Why they put a captain and a ship in the game? If they don't gonna give us entire line, So I think they are thinking about this, and they are just waiting the moment.
Yeah, Julio is like a proof of concept. They
Right.
are testing the waters and see how the community reacts, and now they add a new. They have a new attention to with the Latin community. As the Semi said, they are more participative with the community now. So I think that they are watching us and seeing how we will react to for example, 9 de Julio.
Well,
Yeah, and it's space, like your space, your voice, is really important because the North American people can know about this, right?
Right. Pues ojalá que este podcast puede ayudar.
Of course.
So one more thing, gentlemen. I would like each of you. I know. I don't know if Yemi has done this before because he was one. Yemi and Clan Bien Buenas Noches was one of our first podcast guests earlier last year. So I would like each of you to sink a ship for me. You guys, ¿ustedes familiares con este parte de podcast?
Yes, I heard.
Okay. Si tienes la habilidad que destruir un bote en este juego, por favor, dígame cuál es. Yemi, empieza, por favor.
Why me?
Porque tú eres de buenas
I
noches.
don't know. The Thunderer. I really hate that
Thunder.
ship.
Okay. ¿Por qué?
Because it's really annoying, when you're a battleship. Every salva is a fire, right?
Yeah.
So you wait. I mean, the player shoot.
Right.
He got a fire. He get a fire, and you just wait. The fire ends, right?
Yep.
So he shoot again, and it's another fire. So you don't know when repair, right? So it's really annoying. And when you are playing DD, you're scared, right? So I hate that ship. That's
Okay.
why.
Fair enough. Nanashi, por favor. Destruye un bote, por favor.
I hate CVs, so I'm going to choose the Franklin D. Roosevelt as the prime example of a ship that must be sunk because it is fundamentally unfun to play against it.
The battleship of the skies.
It's balance.
Yeah.
Has balance, comrade. Yeah.
Yeah, it's balance.
Okay.
Balance.
Thunderer and FDR.
You can't do anything about that. It's just fun. So
I hear you.
That's just.
Te escucho. Walter, TalleyRand, nuestro CC, por favor, el último, pero no lo menos. Destruye.
De Bagier, de Panacea Battleship.
Oh, it's not even out
Too
yet.
much fantasy. There was no chance Japan was gonna build a battleship for China. But we have in the game.
The Beiji?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. This is amazing. I'm sorry. Because no reason Japan was going to build a battleship for China.
You say that.
Yeah, that is. Okay. Well, Fair enough. I think we lost him before he could explain more, but that's very interesting. I never would have thought the Boggzy. That is one of the rarest ships in the game. Is the Boggzy?
The Izumo, right? The tier 9.
Copy paste of the Izumo. I don't. It's exactly
Well,
the same.
Well, muchachos, tengo una cosa más antes de completamos aquí. Yo tengo la habilidad que dar un codeja, right? ¿Codejo? Código, ok. Para un bote muy especial del empleado de Wargaming que se llama Mare Draco. Mare Draco is the community manager for the Latin American community. He's a Wargaming employee. He gave me the opportunity to give away a very special ship, which is called the Almirante Abreu. It is a extraordinarily rare ship. It's a tier 2, so it's low tier, but it is only given out by him when he feels like it. So it's one of the rarest ships in the game, and he gave me a code to give that out for free, and I would like to donate that to you three, to Yemi, Nanashi, and TalleyRand, also known as Walter, so that if you guys want to get support, like if you collect signatures or do any kind of thing that helps get, folks interested in letting Wargaming know that you'd like a South American line. Maybe if you guys collect signatures, and then if people put their in-game name on it, you could do a drawing of everyone at the end, and somebody could win the boat. So I would like to put that code at your disposal as a prize for people signing up to try and get that line created. So I hope that works for you. Yeah, I'll keep that. I'll keep that available, and that's for you guys to use if you want to collect signatures and then hold a raffle or something like that. So I hope it works out for you to get the line, and I appreciate all three of you being here. Muchas gracias para venir ustedes a mi podcast para explicar y para hablar sobre una línea sudamericana.
Thank you so much.
No problema.
Thank you.
Claro.
Thank you.
Por favor, al fin del podcast, ustedes pueden darme los links para los artículos, y también TalleyRand, tú eres un CC. ¿Tienes un Twitch o un canal de YouTube?
No, I have a blog. I'm a very old guy, so I use the writing word.
Por favor, una
Old style.
Sí, un address para esto también. Quiero ponerlo en la descripción abajo.
Perfect. I will add it later, the address for my blog.
Okay, perfecto.
And the article in English.
Yeah, both if you want. Yeah. Muchas gracias a ustedes tres. Y thank you, everybody, for listening. I know we had some communication difficulties with technology, con la tecnología, but I appreciated it. It was fun to speak in Spanish as well as English. And thank you to the entire Latin American community for caring enough to want to see another line of ships. So we will put all those links down below, and I will see everyone next time on Get to Know World of Warships.